Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening to everybody there in the UK. Hi. Can anybody, if you could for me, go to the question panel at the right-hand side of your screen and just click hello, maybe say hi and where you're from, just so I can make sure you guys can hear me okay. Adanique. Hi, how are you? I know that name. Sue Wood. Zonia, Kirsten, Nicola, and forgive me, guys, if I completely butcher your names. Okay, perfect. It looks like you guys can hear me quite all right. I want to get right into it. My name is Ariana Hernandez. I'm the marketing assistant over here in the US with IntelliTravel.com. I do want to thank you guys for coming out here to really to grow your travel opportunities. This is to help you guys out. So again, thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedules to be here. Now tonight we're going to provide you an education that will most definitely set you up for success and to close your sales. So be sure to join us here every Tuesday or Thursday. We try to for the quality webinars, just like this one, so that you can speak with our preferred partners in travel. Now, you can watch your emails. You can see the online events calendar in the back office at IntelliTravel.com for more, or IntelliTravel.uk, excuse me, for more special guest appearances by our travel partners on the webinars, just like this one, or you can download the IntelliTravel training app for the weekly podcasts, and that I believe that comes out every Thursday. Now, all of this training is brought to you by IntelliTravel.com, guys. Now, all of the archives also, they are archived and available for replay in the IntelliTutorial section of the office. Now, if you'd like to write notes, please be my guest, but if you feel like you've missed something, please don't worry. You'll be able to view the webinar about 48 hours after it's been live. And you'll be able to watch it however many times you want, whenever you want, wherever you want, as long as you have access to the internet. Now, at the end of tonight's live Q&A session, there is, excuse me, at the end of the webinar, there is a live Q&A session with our special guests. But with so many attendees this evening, it's just not possible to open up the phone lines without completely interrupting the webinar. So what I would like you to do is, again, submit questions using the question box, and that is found at the right-hand control panel of your screen. You can do this anytime during the presentation, and what I will do is I will try to read as many questions as possible, and our special guests will try to answer as many as possible. For people who are using a tablet or their mobile device, you can use the question, I believe it's a little question box to the right hand of your screen. Last but not least, there is a drawing for a prize during that Q&A, but with me, you must still be present on the webinar at that time to win. That is the catch. So, without further ado, I do not want to delay this any longer. I am happy to bring on the real expert with Holiday Extras, your national retail manager, Miss Lindsay Garvey-Jones. Lindsay, it is all yours. Take it away.
Thank you so much. I feel like I'm on Ellen DeGeneres' show for a moment. Thank you, Ariana. That was really sweet of you.
Absolutely.
Hello and good evening to all of you. I hope that you're all well and you're settling into your roles. And we are thrilled and delighted to be working with IntelliTravel. You're already turning over some bookings with us and you're having a really good, positive, healthy relationship, and we completely value that. Tonight is going to be about the power of the 3 E's, and it's going to be about engaging with you, it's going to be empowering you, and it's going to be enthusing you, because we don't sell the most sexiest of products because we do all the airport solutions, but there's a good saying which I live by where Mother Teresa said, people won't remember what you said or what you did, but they will certainly remember how you made them feel. And that's very much the airport experience. And we'll go into more detail a little bit later on. But I just wanted to introduce myself and tell you a little bit of background about me. I've been in the travel industry now for 32 years, and I've been with Holiday Extras. This will be my 8th full year coming up. I never thought that I would end up working for Holiday Extras, because I always thought that I'd be continuing my travel dream, and selling holidays and everything else. But one thing leads to another, and this is one of the best jobs that I've ever had for one of the best leading UK companies. They're amazing to work for. They're very transparent in everything that they do, and they completely value the employee engagement and the relationship that they have with people. So I'm extremely proud to be representing them today and having you all along. I'm involved in several other projects in the travel industry. I help do the comms direction for a women's group, and I'm also a champion for LGBT, the inclusivity and diversity within our industry as well. So it keeps me very, very busy. Now, I want to go straight in and start the presentation. Questions we can have at the end. I do have a little prize at the end, Ariana, as well, if you're still listening and online, which we can go into later. So please take lots of notes. Please drink everything in, and I will make a start by asking those of you who have watched The Greatest Showman. You will totally understand what I'm talking about, but this is a film that I didn't ever envisage myself watching, and I watched it by default. I wanted to know what all the hype was about, and because people were talking about it, saying how amazing it is, and I thought, right, okay, but let's watch this film. And the guy that you see built up his business from absolutely nothing. He built up his client base. He worked with other suppliers, etc. And at the end of it, I thought, you know what? There's a lot of this that correlates with travel, particularly our roles within the industry, because he was visionary. He could see where he wanted to go, and that's very much where you are. You can see who you want to be, and you know how you want to control your businesses. He was about being extraordinary. He was about taking that risk, and that's what you've done. You've taken a risk to become who you want to be career-wise. He wanted to create an excellent reputation, and that's also what you're about as well. In order for people to put their trust in you, you have to create that excellent reputation. Your face and your personality are your business cards. It's about being resilient. If you've watched the film, this guy here, he was so resilient. He got knocked down so many times. He had the door pushed in his face so many times and was rejected, but he was resilient. And that again is about travel. We have so many challenges day to day in our own lives, and we have challenges within the industry and challenges in our own political environment, which give us nothing else but to be resilient, because we must keep going. We don't give up. It's also about innovating. It's about having a fresh idea on something that already exists. How can you do things differently? It is about collaborating with suppliers and working together. So working closely with Holiday Extras and the other tour operators and suppliers who you work with. How do you get the best out of them? How can we help you and support you? It's about finding courage and confidence, and that comes with the resilience. It's having the courage to take that risk and make that step on becoming a home worker, a dream maker. That's what you are. It's about building confidence, and that means building your knowledge. It's about being the best version of you. How do you set your standards? You know, do you turn up for work in the morning, just rolling out of bed and getting onto it, or do you get up and you've got a vision for the day? It's about finding balance. It's about finding a balance between work and life and having that happy balance there. And it's about championing others. It's about finding allies within your group. It's about finding friends and buddy systems. And it's about embracing change, because again, our environment politically, our environment all over the world means that we are to embrace the changes that go with that. Now, most of this came from this one film, and I thought this is just a really good analogy, because we're all of these things. And we're also there at Holiday Extras. Hopefully you can see the screen now. This is head office, which is based in Ashford in Kent, and that's down on the coast where you can go over to, it picks up French radio, you're that close to France, but it's set in its own grounds. It's a brilliant building, purpose built about 35 years ago, and it was made out of locally sustainable materials, taking care for the local people as well, the local community. We do give a lot back in that local community as well, because we go into schools and teach them how to code. We bring them into the offices and show them around. We want to protect the longevity of the business and the future of the business, which is why we have very close links within the community. We've just had an extension built onto that because we're growing as a business as well. Hopefully that video, the video's not probably going to play because it'll interfere with the webinar. So let me move on. So we've been around for 35 years. We're still young in terms of the rest of travel. If you consider comparable to Thomas Cook, who's been around for 175 years, we are very, very young compared to them. But we've grown over the years. We now employ about 1,000 people, and we turn over around about just over £400 million now, which is quite a lot when you consider the average selling price with Holiday Extras for a parking or a hotel is anything between £50 and £80. So as you can imagine, there's a lot of bookings being turned over. In fact, there's just over 5 million bookings being turned over altogether. Our longevity means that we have built some of the strongest relationships in the industry. More than 40% of all of pre-booked airport parking in the UK is booked through Holiday Extras. So there's still another 60% to go for, and you can really help with that. We were established 35 years ago by a family, the Pack family, and we're still very privately owned by that family. They're amazing, they're fantastic. Their son, Matthew Pack, is our chief executive, both here and in Germany, because we operate in Germany a mirror image of how we operate in the UK. Now, because of people like you, we are very, very successful, and we are part of the Sunday Times top 100 companies, if you've ever heard of that. We've been proud to be one of those for several years. This is an accolade which demonstrates the passion that we have, the engagement that we have, and that united ambition. Now, traditionally, when you ask anybody in travel about Holiday Extras, what comes to mind first and foremost is parking, airport parking. That is what we do. We do airport hotels and airport lounges as well. And that's what we're normally known for. We've won many awards for them over the years, which is fantastic because we never take them for granted. They are voted for by people who we work for in travel. And that has led us to getting a lot of feedback and putting a lot more energy into finding new products to give you. Things like overseas transfers, international airport lounges. We offer those worldwide. So Far East, Middle East, America, Caribbean, South America, all the Mediterranean hotspots and city breaks. We also offer award-winning car hire. We offer fast track passes through security. I'll explain those a little bit later on. Which are, all of these are brand new products. These were what travel agents, home workers and call centre teams were saying that they wanted to see more of. So that's what we've been able to do. And they are our fastest growing products. So I wanted to demonstrate what the appetite is out there for these new products such as transfers and fast track. And as you can see, we're in triple digit growth for transfers, to just over 220%. We've got just under 23,000 bookings, which is an increase of just over 15,000. Same with fast track, we're to 240% up, 22 and a bit thousand bookings, and that's an increase of 16,000 bookings year on year. There's an enormous appetite for these two products. It's great when you're putting things together or you're deconstructing a package holiday to put something better together for a customer to have better value. We do offer airports by rail, but only if the airport has a rail hub. Places like Manchester, you can get a train directly to the terminal, as you can with Newcastle, Birmingham, two Londons, Stansted and Luton as well. So as you can see, there is a huge appetite for that. So how did we get to be where we are today? And that's through social media. We work with over 13,000 travel businesses in the UK, and that's really difficult when there's only a team of 2 out on the road. At the moment, it's myself and Leanne, who lives in the north of England. So the 2 of us go around the whole country, including Ireland, the Isle of Man, and the Channel Islands. So the best thing that we can do is to get through social media. Our reach is huge. We can talk to everybody at any time of day through Twitter, through Facebook, through Instagram. So our best incentives that we've had over the years, where we've run them via social media, we've given away cars, we've given away £5,000 and called it 5k payday. It was a home worker that won that last year. Her name is Sue Dillon, and she's a travel counsellor. And we took her shopping and she spent all of our money. It was fantastic. It was just such a great thing. She felt like a princess for the day. We had Spin to Win, where you made a booking and you took a chance and you spun the wheel and you won a prize. And we did 35 days for 35 years. Again, it was a prize draw every single day. So our news, our offers, our incentives, our new products, any hot gossip and updates that we need to get out to you are pushed out onto these channels. You can find us on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram under HX Agents, HX Agents. So if you join onto Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, you can get all the news right there. I've also got my own Facebook page, which is Lindsay Garvey Jones HX, and then you can join me on Facebook for up-to-date hot gossip. So I wanted to talk to you about innovation. We touched on it earlier because it's one of the assets that came out of the film, and it's something that we have to do every single day. We innovate. And innovation means a fresh idea on something that you've always done. Now, I appreciate that many of you have come from different backgrounds, you've had different career choices and different jobs. And how we talk to customers, sometimes we follow a bit of a pattern, whether or not it's something that we've been taught in a previous life, a previous job. And what is important is that customers, you don't have to follow a script. You can talk to customers and use your own personality. You can have that fresh idea on something that's already been done. Because what's important is that you don't see yourself as order takers. You don't work for McDonald's. You don't take orders for food and say, do you want to go large, or do you want chips with that, or whatever. This is a dream maker. You will be taking a brief from a customer. There will be basic questions on there. I call them nodding questions. I wish you could see me when I do this, because I always nod my head and I say, you know, how long are you going for? How many? Where from? Which dates? Have you had a price from anywhere else? And that's kind of your bog standard questioning to try and get the detail from them. But the innovation part comes from building a picture with them and really discovering what it is that they're trying to achieve for their holiday, their trip, their vacation. And that's all about finding out what memories they want to bring back, what's important to them when they go away on holiday, what do the children get excited about if they're taking a family, what do they get excited about? Last time they went on holiday, what was the best thing that they did? What meant the world to them? All of these types of questions, they get forgotten about, and they are the most important questions for you to start building a picture of what that customer actually wants. They might be celebrating an anniversary or a birthday, or they might just be celebrating life, health and wealth. And it's important for us to help them celebrate that. So we need to get into that mindset with them and help them have something amazing at the end of it. To us, it doesn't matter whether or not they're going to Benidorm or Bali. The end result is going to be how you made them feel. The airport journey is just as important as their main deal, because if they're rushed through the airport, they're stressed out, they get on their plane seat and they're like, oh my gosh, do we have to do this again? Can we not just go to a caravan in Wales next time? We want them to have the best experience and help them travel better through the airport. You know, when you think about it, they've got such a short space of time to get from the airport, from their front door onto the aircraft seat. Check-in is what, 2 hours, 3 hours, maybe a little bit more, because you have to get from front door to the airport, through security and onto the aircraft seat. Sometimes it's not the most pleasurable of experiences, but the products that we have can help them through that. I always advise that anybody who's travelling from an airport 12 midday or before needs an overnight hotel, irrespective of where that customer lives. They might live 20 minutes away, they might live 2 hours away. They'll need an overnight hotel, primarily because of one thing that happens in the morning, and that's traffic. The motorways, the main routes into the airport in the morning get very, very busy. And what I don't want is any of your customers really fretting and getting stressed that they might miss their flight because they're on a motorway where there's been an accident or there's traffic jams. You just don't know what's happening. And this idea came from a home worker about 2 years ago, and she said to me she never lets any of her customers travel without having an overnight hotel if their flight departs midday or before. What a great idea. And this is about being innovative. This is about being commercially aware and switched on to what a customer will probably need. If we look at the different products that we have at the airport, we have different types of parking. The best thing to do, I reckon, is to log on to our website and have a play around, because the paradox of choice for all of the different airport products is enormous. And there's videos that, well, I'll talk about videos and things in a moment, but there's lots of tools on there to help you and educate you, empower you, and give you the skills that you need, because we're not expecting you to have been to every single car park, hotel or lounge, but we certainly have, and we've got the information about them, and we've taken videos of some of them as well. So we can really help customers travel better. The difference for the airport parking products is that we've got multi-story, which does what it says on the tin. We've got long stay. We have on-site, which is right near to the airport, and off-site, which is normally the park and ride. If you've ever touched on that before, if you've been on holiday before, you might have parked your car, got on one of the transfer buses, which has taken you through to the terminal. I know I've done that before as well. They're great on pocket. A little bit of extra savings for customers, which is great to be spent at duty free, I think. But then you've got the option of having a meet and greet as well, which sometimes can be exactly the same price, or there's a deal on it and it could be cheaper. Meet and greet, again, does what it says on the tin. You drive to the terminal, you're met by somebody from that car park that you've booked with. They've got a clipboard, they go around the car, they check the mileage, they check any damage or whatever, and they mark it on their sheet. You sign it off, you give them the keys, and then they park your car for you, and then they bring it back on return, which is a fantastic way to go. We normally find that once people have had meet and greet, they very rarely go back to anything other than that. But again, it's about building a picture for your customer, because if they're traveling with children, meet and greet is a great way to go, because it's really drive, drop and go. It's a really quick, easy, good feel about it. But it is a little bit like a VIP as well. Again, once you've had it, you very rarely go back. So I know that I have it every time that I fly. I always have meet and greet. It's a lovely thing to do. We have overnight airport hotels, and those can be coupled with parking or just the hotel by itself. So again, if customers are parking their car, you might want to park it at the hotel whilst they're away. And we have options for doing that as well. The cost on that, again, can sometimes be better having the parking included, and it can sometimes be cheaper. If you book customers an overnight hotel, you can include things like dinner. You can pre-book them dinner. They normally have swimming pools and spas, and at some of them, for example, Holiday Inn, children can eat completely free if they're under 16, which is fantastic. There's normally meal deals as well. So that to me is a good value for a customer, and they can relax, they can chill out, they can have a swim. When there's photographs and videos on the hotels as well, it becomes very clear that they can absolutely relax and they kick off the holiday early and go swimming, or they can have a spa or a facial, or they can just recharge, especially if you've got to get to the airport early in the morning. The airport lounges at UK airports are an amazing way to travel. It's such an experience, and many customers think that they still can't have them and they must have a business class ticket with a scheduled airline to be allowed into an airport lounge, and that's just not so, because you can pre-book it for them, which is amazing. The airport lounges normally include drinks and nibbles. Sometimes they can provide hot food and magazines and TVs. It's such a lovely way to travel, and it's away from the hustle and bustle of the main areas. You can pop in and out, and you can still go shopping and come back to the lounge as many times as you want. But it's just a nice way to travel because the number of passengers in the lounges are restricted. So not everybody's allowed in, and it's a lovely way to travel. They're great for cruise customers. They're great for the high-end luxury customers or anybody who's just celebrating. We have them, as I said earlier, worldwide as well, so the fun doesn't have to stop just because they're coming home. The lounges tend to operate in exactly the same way, so they can be separated off and go and have a nice luxurious time before getting on their flight home. Car hire as well, if customers want car hire, it's all about asking them what their plans are when they're away and how lovely it would be to explore their destination on their own time and create their own memories rather than being on a coach. And it's just about building a picture from them about what memories they want to bring back. So help them with that also. If they wanted, they can have the overseas transfers, and they can do everything from private cars to shared minibuses or even coaches. And as I said, we do rail, so that's great for people who don't drive or don't want to drive because they have an environmental conscious around them, but great for families that want to travel together. The rail operates where we issue the tickets and send them to you. Everything's commissionable. They can travel anytime on any train from their local station to the airport. Again, like I said, so long as the airport has a rail hub. Children travel free, and there can be as many children on that booking as possible, so long as there are 2 full fare paying passengers. Again, that's a great thing. Great for groups of friends or families traveling together. So when you're innovating, think about how you're chatting to customers. Think about building a package for them when you're thinking about building the holiday. You know, customers might want to say, can you get me a quote on Florida? Can you get me a quote on a flight ticket to wherever? And these questions will very much come into play, like I said earlier, you know, like, why is it you're traveling? You know, it's getting excited with them, you know, who are you going to see and things like that, which will really help you. A lot of our products that will start trickling into your head thinking, oh, I'm going to do them a meet and greet and a lounge because they're celebrating. So you can start putting together little things commercially for them. Some people like to give away our products instead of a discount because not everybody is either looking for a discount or is emotionally attached to a discount. These days, customers have become very discount savvy, and it's like they just want something for nothing. But what we've worked out is that customers are not that emotionally attached to a discount because it doesn't really mean anything to them. If you give them 80 quid off, they're like, oh yeah, that's really good, thanks very much. But if you say to them, I'll give you 2 free passes to get into the airport lounge, that's amazing because you've given them something for nothing and you've added value to their holiday. You might want to go Harvest, you might want to go 50-50 on an overnight hotel. You can do all of these things, and again, it's a sweetener to add to the sales pitch. You might say, if you book it with me today, I'll give you some fast passes to get through security. Those are the little tickets that you can get from Holiday Extras where they can go through security in the fast lane. You might have seen them yourself when you go through security, where you do your bags, your belts, your shoes and your queues. there's a separate lane, and we sell those tickets at 8 different UK airports, which are all on our website. So again, there's things to help them travel better and things that you can do to help yourself as well. It's about thinking a bit more third dimensionally and a bit more out of the box as well. But also it's about having the right mindset. So if you put the customer aside for the moment, it's about you. It's about how your mindset is. It's about that positivity that you have every time you bring it. It's about setting yourself a standard, your goals, your ambitions, and not letting anybody tell you that you can't do something or you won't do something, because you're you. You can do it, you will do it. Again, there's another saying that I live by, which is, if you believe that you can or believe that you can't, you're probably right. In other words, you are what you think. Because if you're constantly telling yourself, I'm rubbish at that, I'll never be able to do that, that's kind of what you get back. But if you are waking up with your mindset, you've got a goal oriented, you're on target, you're going to say to yourself, right, I'm going to convert 1 in every 4 bookings this week. For every 4 bookings that I do, I'm going to get a holiday extras on, I'm going to get some insurance, I'm going to get other things. People who are motivated set themselves objectives and targets to achieve. So set yourself some standards and some culture values and something to aim for every week. And that's when you'll start to feel very fulfilled and very, very organised, and then you'll be overachieving, which is a fantastic thing to do. So innovation for me comes in 2 things: how we talk to customers and how you talk to yourself, which is fab. So I'm just going to move on from there and tell you about the toolkit. HXTK is the Holiday Extras Toolkit. This has been especially designed to help you overcome objections that can come from customers, but also objections that can be created in our own minds because we think we're being too cheeky asking them for more money, because we think, oh, thank God we've got them on holiday, that's great, I can't ask them for any more money. But if we're having the proper conversation with them at the very start anyway, realistically those objections you'll be able to swerve. But we know that you can't please all the people all the time, you can't force them to have something that they don't want, but it's absolutely fulfilling something that they can have. If customers don't want to park the car with you, then, and they're adamant with that, then fine, but they might want a fast lane pass through security and a VIP lounge at the other end. So that might be quite nice. There are other products other than just parking in hotels that we sell. Now, to help you overcome objections, we have this toolkit, and it's an amazing toolkit. The videos that I was talking to you about earlier on our website, and I'll show you where to get those in a little bit. We've gone out and filmed our car parks, our hotels, our lounges, because they have a massive conversion. When a customer has seen themselves at the airport, understanding what a meet and greet is, they will then go, I understand. When a customer has seen themselves at the bar in the hotel or relaxing, having a drink at the airport lounge, they convert more. Research tells us that they are 40 times more likely to purchase from you once they have seen it. People are very visual, you know, we know that through social media. If you've got any social media yourself, when you're flicking through and when you're scrolling through Twitter, Instagram or Facebook, there's a lot of video content on there now because people love the visual stuff. So videos are one of your strongest tools. They're a great educational tool as well. So I still look at them because I've not been to every single airport lounge or hotel. So I like looking at our new products on there. They're really good. There's frequently asked questions on our website as well. I'll show you where they are anyway. So also in your toolkit, you have never beaten on price. So if a customer finds it cheaper elsewhere within 24 hours of booking it with you, and it's the same dates, the same product, the same duration, the same everything, and they can prove it, they've got it in writing, if you send it into customer.relations@holidayextras.com, they will look at it and they will decide, and then they will say, yeah, it's a never beaten on price. We will match it. We will refund the difference to the customer. That's a great thing to have. We also have cancellation protection. If you tick the box on the Holiday Extras website, where it's protect that customer's product from being cancelled. It's £1.99. If a customer's plans change or they have to cancel, that's all they'll lose is the £1.99. So they'll get the rest of the money back, which is a really strong asset to have. Tried, tested, recommended does exactly what it says on the tin. Holiday Extras only use trusted suppliers. We do not use these people who are charlatans and leave cars in fields full of mud at Gatwick or wherever, and they put the keys on top of the tyres. We can't afford to do that. We're a reputable, award-winning company. We only use trusted suppliers. That should give customers a lot of confidence. We offer a groups facility of 7 people or more, especially for lounges. What we won't accept is stag do's, hen do's, or people who are going to take the mickey, really, because we recently had an incident in one of our airport lounges where empty water bottles were being filled up with vodka and they got banned for life. So, you know, we have to be careful about who we let in. So there is a standard, especially with groups of people, we have to be very, very careful, because the lounges want to make sure that everybody's going to have a fantastic time in there. Parkmark Award is the rubber stamp. You might have seen this when you're out and about town subconsciously, and now you're seeing it on my screen. You'll see it everywhere now. I know that I do. It's a rubber stamp which has been awarded to car parks with Holiday Extras by the police and the British Car Park Standards Authority. Who knew there even was one? I didn't, but there absolutely is. And that means that the car park that's been awarded this have met a criteria such as high perimeter fencing. They've got floodlit things, so the visuals are good. They've got guys with dogs walking around on regular patrols. So again, it's giving customer a lot of confidence when they're leaving their cars and their keys with us. We also have late return cover, because sadly now over 30% of flights are returning late back to the UK, which isn't amazing, but sometimes it means that the customer might be charged if over a certain amount of hours. Normally they have a period of grace, but after that time, charges might kick in. It's discretionary to the car park. We don't own any of our car parks, so we can't be the judge and jury on that. But for £1.99, if you tick the box, you can cover your customer for any extra parking charges should they be delayed. If they keep the receipts, we will refund those extra charges to them. And we also have free cancellation. Again, one of our strongest things in the toolkit. If you book a hotel at the airport and that hotel is by itself or with parking, so long as it's outside of 2 days of travel, they will get their money back. It's totally free cancellation. I think that's a really strong message. So for people who say, oh, I can't book it now, I don't have any money, you can do it on the cancellation protection. You can take a deposit. You can, if people are saying, oh, I'll book it online, you know, you can say you're never beaten on price and you tried, tested, recommended. There are a lot of things here to help you overcome your objection. And I think sometimes it's about giving that customer the choice. Don't remove the choice from the customer because you're scared of offering it because, you know, price or proximity to the airport or they haven't got the money or whatever. You know, it's about building that picture for them and saying, you know, this is what I think that you'll need. So you're saying this is your holiday, your flights, your transfers, your accommodation. I've included an overnight hotel with parking for you, and I've got you a lounge and fast track through the airport. How brilliant does that sound? You know, you've done the best thing for them. You've packaged it all together, and it will make their life a lot easier through the airport. So that toolkit really is there to help you. I'll encourage all of you to watch the videos whenever you can. They're no more than a minute to a minute and a half long. We have our own YouTube channel called Holiday Extras on YouTube. And again, all the videos are on there. So if you wanted to copy and paste the URL, which is the little address bar at the top, and send it as part of a quote to a customer by email, you can do that. And there's no call to action on it, which means that we're not directing them to come. We're not in competition with you. Your customers are your customers. We want them to book through you, but that conversation must be had. There is a reason why some customers come to us direct, and that's because the conversation's not being had at the very start of the brief. So make sure it's happening for you. So this is the screen that you will see when you log on to holidayextras.com/agents. You'll excuse me. You will have your own login, and then you will be given a choice of products across the top, and then you'll select your parameters over what you actually want, and then it will search for you and give you the choice. You can also put yourself into a test environment, which means that you'll be able to make bookings without giving us any money, which is great. What you need to do is put in avatar number TRAIN, TRAIN, and password, TRAIN, and then your initials, and then you're put into a test environment, which means that you can sample things, you can make fake dummy bookings, and you won't be charged for them. All you need to do is to email sales@holidayextras.com, let us know the booking references, and then we'll tally them up and we get them cancelled down. It's all fine. But it's a great way of learning. It's a great way of tutoring and teaching yourself through the system. Also on there, on the left-hand side, you can't see it on here, there is a back office functionality system where you can view, cancel and amend bookings. You can, there's posters on there, there's PDFs and things on there that you can print off and take to you to disperse in your local community to help advertise. There's contact us pages on there, so you can see all of us and what we're up to, and our contact details are there. And then the all-important staff discount button. So if you're traveling yourself or you have family members traveling, you can use the staff discount code. Anybody that abuses it and starts giving it to customers, you will be found out. So I'm wagging my finger. If you could see me, I'm wagging my finger at you because we've had people try and do that before. It's a disproportionate amount of bookings coming through from one place. So we will be watching, but it's there for you to use with our compliments where you'll get a discount off the products. And there's no better way to sell. You know, first-hand knowledge, your experience is a great way to sell. Now, we believe that you can do it. You should have the belief that you can do it as well. It would be great to see those results in another couple of weeks to see how you're all getting on. But we do wish you the very best of luck in your careers, no matter how long you've been in travel. If you're brand new or if you've decided to join the company because you want a career change. So, but I wish you the best of luck. But what I want you to know is that we're here to support you in as much as we can. That's I know there's only two of us, but we'll do our best. Most of the information can be found if you do a little dig and a little research. But my best advice to you is to buddy up, communicate, talk to one another, and we're here if you need us. But it's over and out from me in terms of presentation. What I would like to do now is take any questions that you might have.
Perfect. So I'm here. I am. Alrighty. So before I get into the questions, Lindsay, just real quick, if I do ask a question that you may have gone over already in the presentation, I may ask it again just in case they may have came at a later date. And to the agents, I'm going to try to ask as many general questions as I can, and as many questions in terms of how many times they were asked. So we can move forward here. Let's see, first question. Now, can we use this partner to book UK train travel, for example, Virgin trains?
No, we only do it might be a Virgin Trains, but we're not a rail agent, so we can't do, for example, you know, Edinburgh to Liverpool. It has to be somebody's local station to an airport. It has to be specific. You can do this on our agent website, or you can call us to do it, but we're not a rail agent. We don't do like day trips to York or Edinburgh or anything like that.
Okay, perfect. Now, I do also like to throw these in there as well, Lindsay. From one of our agents, they say, I have to say, I love Holiday Extras. Being in the industry for over 10 years, I never go anywhere else for my ancillary sales. Customer service is second to none. Massive Holiday Extras.
Oh, we have a fan. That's amazing. Thank you. That's awesome.
Yes. I do have an agent. If you could, for me real quick, could you say the Facebook sites once more?
I can. They're all the same. All of our social media is the same. H for hotel, X for X-ray, agents, Agents, HX agents.
Okay. Alrighty. Another one, not a question, but I love the airport. It's the beginning of the holiday for me. I guess that was when we were talking about air.
Yeah.
Um, okay. Hi. Can we here in the UK sell holiday extras travel insurance, please? Thank you.
As far as we're concerned, you can if you want to, but I don't
Mhm.
know if the deal has been done because insurance is regulatory. It means that there has to be a level of compliance which is legal, which
Mhm.
means that there is a certain amount of knowledge which has to be rubber stamped. Now, we last time I spoke to Trisha, I think we were talking about that, and it might be in the pipeline of things to come because you can offer travel insurance on a referral basis, which means you give them your ABTA number, they call Holiday Extras and give us the ABTA number as a reference, and then you get the kickback on commission. So we're looking at making that happen. So I think it's in the pipeline. So watch this space. Exciting.
All right. From another agent, how can we add additional drivers, car seats, and so on to a car hire booking?
Easy. Give us a call.
Perfect. Easy enough.
Yeah.
Um,
It's as easy as that. Any sat navs, booster seats, or special requests that you have for a hired car traveling around, please call it through because we can ring the supplier and make sure that that happens and is on the confirmation for you.
okay. Going back real quick to the Facebook page, can you share the links and what website address?
It's on YouTube. The links on YouTube. You mean for the videos or?
They're asking, can we? I think the agent wants to know if they can share the Facebook page link.
Not with customers, it's a closed group. It means that
Okay.
customers can see what we talk about because, you know, some things are sensitive to customers, like incentives and things like that. If a
Mhm.
customer knew that you were winning a car just to get a booking or whatever, then, you know, sometimes it gets a little bit sensitive. So customers can't see our Facebook page because we do have a customer facing one, but for travel agents, home workers, and call centres, it's private.
Okay. Do not share this with your customers. Just it's just for travel agent purposes only. Okay, so next, a few about the lounges. A few questions about the lounges. First, can you get lounges abroad?
Yes, overseas international lounges from the Far East, Australia, Middle East, and the Americas, South America, Caribbean. You can find them worldwide. If we have one available, it'll be on our website. And there's a little box that says overseas lounges. You press on it and you can see where they all are.
Okay. And then the next question, are children allowed in lounges? Or are they adults only?
We have a mix. We have some which are adult only, and we have some which very much welcome children. And there are areas for children within the lounges for them to play games, and there's cinemas, and yeah, there's a whole wide range of them.
Okay, okay. And then moving on to the next question, which I like this question a lot now. Are all airport lounges the same price if booked holiday extras,
Yeah,
or do different lounges charge different prices?
correct. Different lounges charge different prices because there are different levels of lounges. You could that becomes very apparent when you go through and you have a look. Our lounges start from £12 per person and they go up to about £60 per person. But that £60 includes spa treatments and champagne.
Okay. Now, what if you're using a priority pass? Is it all the same price at that point, or it still varies?
Customers who own a priority pass don't get any special treatment if they book through Holiday Extras.
Okay.
There are some people who possess those who you can just turn up and hope that you can get in because a priority pass will allow you in. But the landscape is changing because we don't own any lounges, but we're hearing that a lot of airport lounges now are trying to avoid priority passes or the black cards that some people have. They want people to book through Holiday Extras or other people. They want to be able to take those bookings and give them priority. So it's not always guaranteed if you have that card, but it is if you
Okay.
book with Holiday Extras.
All right. Moving on to the next question. If we book something for a client through Holiday Extras, but the client needs to cancel, who would issue the refund? Is it Holiday Extras or IntelliTravel? I believe
Holiday
you.
Extras, yes. Holiday
Okay.
Extras issue the refund because operationally, how that happens at the moment is that we will be collecting the money on a statement, whether that statement is monthly or quarterly or weekly. So the money goes into a central pot and then we take that. So we would issue that refund back to probably IntelliTravel. So it will come out to the refund will come from Holiday Extras, but back into the financial pot of IntelliTravel, if you know what I
Okay.
mean.
Um, Now, will the fast track make any difference to disabled people? What do you
Absolutely
think?
don't discriminate. No, absolutely not. The thing
Okay.
with it depends on the disability, depends on the ability of the person. Obviously, if they're wheelchair bound, that everything will have to be a process and go through. But there is no differentiation for people who are less able than the rest of us to use the fast lane at all. Absolutely not. Anybody can use that.
Okay. Do you offer luggage storage or luggage to airport drops?
We don't. That's something that is operated for by the airport themselves. We don't get involved in that.
Okay. Another comment here. I've recently booked a car park myself through Holiday Extras and it was perfect. So that was from one of our agents.
Use your
um, now
experience, sell it.
this
Use your experience.
now this question seems to be referring to the videos.
Uh-huh.
Can we use the videos on our social media websites?
Yes, of course you can. If you've got
Okay.
the ability to do that, go for your life. Absolutely, you can use those and you can put pictures up. And I mean, what I will do for you as well, I've got a load of visuals as well that you can use. If I send them, Ariana, if you give me an email address for somebody, I can get that over. I can get as much content over as I can for you to distribute to all of your home workers who, and you can use it on your own Facebook pages, whatever you want to do with it. The bigger the better,
Right.
really. Yeah.
Okay, okay, yes, definitely. I'll be happy to get you over something that has the data of
Let's go for
questions.
world domination.
It looks like we have a question in regards to could you let's see, what was the sales email address for the test? Seems
Oh,
we
this
needed.
yes. If you make test bookings and we need to cancel them down, it's just sales@holidayextras.com.
Okay, perfect. Now it looks like this is sort of related to the test here. How do we get a password to log in as an agent if we don't want to test environment or don't want the test environment?
Yeah. You should have an app number and a passcode, and then your three initials. So that's going back to this screen here. Let me just make that bigger. Sorry if I make this bigger. You will be able to see. So this is the page really where you will put in your own ABTA number. You should have a passcode and then your three initials or whatever, and then you will get access to a live booking system. Now you would have been given those credentials already because you're making bookings for us. So it's I know that Mr. Graham Shooter set you all up a few months ago, so it's whatever he sent through.
Okay, perfect. Another comment here, a fantastic webinar, very educating from one of our agents.
Thank you very
Another
much.
one saying very informative. You're getting a lot of thank yous, a lot of
Yeah,
thank yous, I
thank you for listening. I really appreciate it. It's great.
Let's see. And it looks like there's a few more comments just saying they want to see doing some dummy testing. So maybe we can schedule another webinar to see if we can do some live testing if
Yeah,
that's possible
yeah,
at all.
sure.
So let me try to ask just a few more questions here, and then we can move on to the prize. I did see a question in regards to. I lost it here, but let's just go ahead. I'll ask this question to the question. What is the commission rate for, or the commission rates, plural, for the different products? Or are they roughly about averagely the same?
They're all roughly averagely the same. I don't know what was, sorry about this because we're kind of different in departments. Because when Mr. Graham Shooter set you up, that would have been as part of the contract, whatever terms and conditions were set for the commission. He would have all that information, whoever he did the
Okay.
deal with, whether that's Trisha or James, or I'm not sure who that would be. Typically, on average, to give you an idea, car
Okay.
is roughly 15, transfers are 15. Car parks range anywhere from 12 to 14%. Hotels, roughly the same. I think rail is at 10. Fast track passes are at 10. Lounges range from 12 to 15. It depends on that, just gives you a ballpark
Okay.
figure. I'm not entirely sure what was agreed on your commercial contract, which I believe would be something, outside.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe I would think also it to my agents out there, it may also be in your preferred partner directory book. It might have a little bit of details in terms of what the average commission is for type of travel. So maybe just take a look at the preferred partner directory to see if it gives you any more information. I did have another. Here it is. I found it. Do you do discounts for disabled customers and careers?
We treat everybody equally, so
Okay.
sadly no discount for in relation to the question. Everybody gets treated fairly and equally.
Okay. Perfect. Do children go free on the coach or shared bus transfers only?
No, if you're talking about overseas transfers, a child price is exactly the same. The only discounts that children will get is if they travel by rail in the UK from their local station to the UK airport, they travel for free and it's 16 and under.
Okay. Alrighty. Let's see. Now going back to just disabled or special needs, can arrangements at least be put in place for those people? I assume for any kind of travel that they're referring to.
Yes, of course, because now it is UK law where we have to treat everybody fairly, especially if customers are staying in one of our overnight hotels. We will liaise with the hotel to see if there is availability for specially adapted rooms. It depends on how that person lives their life. We will do our utmost. It can never be guaranteed up until time of booking. But if they want a special assisted car, if they still want to drive abroad, we can arrange that with the car hire supplier. But definitely, if they're staying in an overnight hotel, we will do our best because there are things like ramps, ground floor rooms, things like that. We don't have any thing to do with rail, but obviously, if a customer knows that they're travelling on West Coast Main Line, say for example from Preston to Euston, the customer can get in touch with Virgin and arrange whatever they need, such as a ramp or special assistance. I think it just depends if people are either using wheelchairs or have a guide dog or just need any kind of assistance, really. If in doubt, always give the call centre a ring. They will be more than happy to help.
Perfect. I'm going to ask probably about 3 more questions. I think they're pretty good questions here. Um, all right. First question, can customers pay monthly or for any holiday they book?
Um, the money, what you can do is, this is how we currently operate. You can take a deposit from a customer. It's round about £10 for a parking and £15 for a hotel, and the customer can pay 12 weeks before they go, which is normally when their balance is due for a holiday. But that is operated and managed by you. We don't take any ownership for that, but we take full payment from IntelliTravel at the time of statement. So if your customer is going in 12 months' time, we will still take the payment up front, but the customer will pay you 12 weeks before they go. So there will be some disparity in that. But of course, that's up to you operationally how you want to do that. We have many travel agencies who operate on that same level, and it works really well for them because it gives the customer some support.
Okay. Next question. Now, if a customer doesn't want the cancellation cover, can they add it at a later date? Is
No, it
there a
has to
cutoff
happen at
time
the time of booking.
at the time of the booking?
Sure.
Okay. Alrighty. And last but not least, just because I see the question a few times
That's all
again,
right.
um, first the comment, because they have a comment first. Thank you for a wonderful, empowering webinar. Now,
Thanks.
please, can you advise again what the promo code was for agents to use for personal use?
Absolutely.
Sorry.
No, don't worry about it. It's very important that you do use our products for your own holiday. The staff discount button is a button on the agent website, and all you do is click it and it will take you through. So you can select, book, and pay for your own airport hotel products, whatever you decide, and it will be at a discounted rate.
Okay, I guess he was asking what the promo code was, or is it just something that you guys blast out every so often, and it's different every so often?
Is this for staff travel?
Say one more time, I'm sorry?
Was that for staff travel? Was that
No, I don't believe
repeat
so.
the question to me again? Because what's the promo code? Sorry.
Uh, can you advise again what the promo code was for agents to use for personal use, and where do we find this again?
Yeah.
I'm so
So
sorry.
it's all right that there isn't a promotional code for staff travel for their own personal use. There is
Okay.
a button on the website which they use when they're ready to book their own trips,
Got
and
it.
it's just called staff discount button. So there isn't a promo
Got it.
code or anything.
Perfect. Okay. Alrighty then. So I do want to close it off with that, just in case anybody was getting confused about it, because I had seen a few questions like that. So I want to move on ahead to the prize winner here. And Lindsay, if you could indulge me just a moment by doing a drum roll while I randomly select a winner.
That's my drum
I
roll.
like what people do with their mouths. Too funny. All right. Lisa Grove. Lisa, congratulations. I will be sending your information over to Miss Lindsay here so she can send you something nice. And to the rest of my agents, thank you so much for being here. Lindsay, thank you for being here. You've got an overwhelming positive feedback.
Good.
The agents, thank you for the wonderful presentation.
Yeah, I thank them as well for their engagement. And I'm really excited and looking forward to seeing some really good results. I just wish you well. I'm excited for your careers.
Yes. And once again, agents, thank you for being here. I always like to close off by saying that if it was not for you guys, if you were not here, then we would not be here either. So thank you. Give yourselves a pat on the back and have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your night. Lindsay, once again, I will send you the information you need, as well as maybe follow up with a some sort of webinar for next time as well. All right.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to be engaged with you and involved. So it's all good.
Absolutely, absolutely. Have a wonderful rest of your evening, guys.
Thank you. See you soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye now.